Okay, welcome back. We're going to make another video using 3D tools, and this one we are going to showcase in the 3D area a few tools: the linear pattern, the circular pattern, and the mirror tool. So we're going to be using those patterns. We're going to create this right here. So you can, I don't know if you guys can see this thing. There's a video thing that's on my screen. I'm moving around. All right, so you can start a new part studio, and you can call this one like 3D pattern and mirror, and we're going to create that. Okay, so first you need to just sketch a box. So I'm going to sketch on the front plane, a rectangle, and if we want to give it dimensions, that might be helpful. How about we make it like 3 inches by 5 inches? Okay, and then I'm going to extrude that, and how about we go 2 inches? I didn't create exact dimensions last time, but this time I will. Okay, so let's go ahead and create that little this little wedge right here, this piece, this little semicircle. Let's think of this as like a building, and this being like a covering. So I need a plane to sketch an arc on. We're going to use the plane tool. I'm going to go ahead and use offset plane. I'm going to offset it from the bottom, and I'm going to just kind of approximate that. Okay. Just visually. So if you want to do what I've got it at 1.2 inches. I think that looks good. And then we're going to sketch on that plane. Now that plane is a completely blank sketch, right? There's nothing on it, even though you can see that box. I want to make an arc that's closed in. So to copy the geometry down onto that sketch, I can use the use or project tool. And I can project this line segment or that bottom line segment onto my sketch. Okay, like that. And then I could have also used the line segment tool and drawn that, but then I can use the 3-point arc. I'm going to make this be an exact semicircle like that. Okay, and then I'm going to extrude that, and I'm going to go up, and we're going to make it pretty small. Let me see what 0.25 looks like relative to the entire thing. Yeah, that looks good. All right. Oop. And when I extrude that, I wanted that to add onto the other part. So add, merge with this piece. There you go. Okay, so now I'm going to create the window feature, and we're not going to make all of them. We're just going to make a single one. So I'm going to do a sketch of on this face of a rectangle. I'm just eyeballing this. And we're going to use extrude remove to make a little recess. And I'm going to make it a very thin little recess, so maybe 0.1. Nope, I think I hit the X by accident. Okay, and now here's the linear pattern tool. We're going to take this and pattern it. The important thing in 3D mode is that in 3D mode, you can pattern whole parts, or you can pattern features or faces. And so this is still one object. The entire thing that you see is one object, and I don't want to pattern the entire thing. I want to pattern this little detail, which is a feature of my part. So that's a really important thing that people miss all the time, is not changing the drop down to feature pattern. So I'd like to get this feature to repeat. You can choose it here, or you can choose it over here in the browser. So that extrusion, especially if I renamed those, that would be helpful. But if I choose that feature right here, then it wants a direction. So I click on the red box so it knows that's what I'm going to give, and I use an edge to reference horizontal. And then I can play around with the distance of spacing and how many instances. So the instance count includes the original. So I'm going to make this distance, let's go 0.5 and see what that does. And I'm going to bump this up to 5, and that's pretty good. So now if I want to pattern also vertically, like more floors, there's a checkbox to go do a second distance, and then you get to pick a second direction. So I'm going to pick a vertical edge, and then I don't see any because the instance count's still on 1. So let's change that to just any other number, and then I can increase the spacing. I'm not sure. Let's see, 1.2 maybe, 1.25, 1.3. I need to just kind of figure out a spacing that works to get over this and kind of fit. Now, if you are struggling, you can be free to make that a 3 and make this a bigger number. I'm not worried about if you've got the exact number of windows that I have. I just want to see that you linear patterned a window into rows and columns. Okay, so I think I liked that look though. Cool. So there's the linear pattern tool. So it took some feature that we're going to pattern. All right, next I'm going to sketch on the roof of this. It may not be very functional, but I'm going to do a little circle that is right aligned to the middle. I'm going to find the middle and just kind of like a detail. I'm going to do a little circle and we're going to extrude, remove that. Oh, I'm on the wrong button, sorry. Extrude, remove. And just again, a small amount just for a little detail. That's actually looks deeper than I would have thought. So I'll make that 0.05. Okay, so instead of having to recreate that feature, we're going to use the pattern tool to evenly and equally space them out. So we're going to go to where the linear pattern tool is, and we're going to find circular pattern. And again, I have to change this from part to feature because the entire thing you see is one object, and I don't want this entire thing to get created again. I just want to take the feature of this little round recess, and I want to pattern that. So I'm on a feature pattern. I'm going to choose that extrude. That's the feature. And then it needs an axis. You can choose a circle as it'll basically use the center of the circle, the cylindrical object, as your axis. Now, you see the instance counts on 4. I can change that, but what's happening is it's going in a full circle, and I don't want that to go in a full circle. I want to go maybe in a half a circle. But in this case, a half a circle. I put 90, 180 is half a circle. It's starting here and going one way or the other. What I really want is this to be the middle, to go a little bit this way and a little bit that way. So I could say centered. But when I do centered, the value I have here goes in both directions, 180 this way and 180 this way. So that's 360. So you think, okay, well, I really need this to be 90. The problem with 90 is that it's going to go exactly 90 degrees and it's on that. So I realize I need to go less than 90. How about we try 75? Okay, and then those are pretty closely spaced. So I'm going to try some different numbers. How about 4? So 4 includes the original, and you get 4 total going to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and including this one going forward to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is how I created that. All right, the last thing is we're going to mirror everything that I just did to the back side. So this building is kind of double-sided. The two opposite ends of the building look exactly the same. So to do that, we need a mirror plane, a plane that goes right to the middle that we can use to mirror across. So that's going to be the plane tool. We're going to use the mid-plane type. We're going to choose this side and this side. And then I'm going to mirror across that. See you guys. Okay, so to mirror, I'm going to turn on the mirror tool. And again, just like the pattern tools, there is part or feature. I'm not trying to mirror this entire object. I'm trying to mirror just certain features. So I'm going to put on feature mirror. And then it wants me to pick the features to mirror. So I can do this in kind of 3 steps. So I can go through here and select the extrusions or the patterns, etc., that I want. So like extrude 2, that was just that disc. And then I have to click on red and choose that mirror plane, and it will mirror that over here. Now, it sometimes mirrors things without choosing apply in, for instance, and sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes I have to click that little box to get that to go. Okay, so you can see that. Now, inside the same mirror tool, I can go select more items. So in addition to that disc, if we wanted to get the little window, right, the first window, we could do that. If we wanted to get the pattern of the windows, we can choose that. see. I think that's one where it's kind of weird. Where let me see, feature mirror, linear pattern, mirror plane.
I fixed those sketches.
Okay, I'm in the middle of recording something. Give me a second. So some of the features like patterns and just a regular feature kind of work differently with the mirroring. So in this case, it doesn't want that apply per instance. So I needed to mirror it separately where I wasn't checking that. And that might be the same as the circular pattern. So we could try choosing that at the same time, seeing if that comes over. Yep. So the patterns don't want you to check apply per instance. There you go. That is kind of like a little building with little coverings and just little details. So it allowed you to see how to mirror features, how to pattern features. So kind of cool.